Okay. Okay, so I've recorded this video probably at least 3 times. I think it might have been 4 times. I had a whole script that I planned out and I hit all the points that I wanted to touch. I really didn't love it. It wasn't really like the vibe I was going for. Again, it got all the information, like what I wanted, but it wasn't like the vibe I was going for. I want this to feel like we're friends. I want it to feel like we're just chatting. Just imagine two girlfriends catch up. Hey, how is like your health and wellness journey going? Like how's your fitness? What fitness goals do you have for 2026? Says their goals, and then they start venting about the fact that, I'm 40 now and I'm really starting to struggle with getting results. I'm pushing 40. Been saying it for years. I'm 38 now, which is like wild to me. And I've been saying like I want to get fit for 40 for since I was 36, which is kind of funny. I just want to get into the best shape of my life because I think 40 is like a pivotal point, right? Our bodies change a ton at 40. I can tell you my body's changing even at 38. I think a lot of women hit perimenopause around the age of 40, give or take. I can definitely tell that like my collagen is reducing. My joints hurt. I'm achy. Things are cracking. So that is 100% real. I have supplemented with collagen and I think it works. So I was in really great shape. I don't know, like at 30. I mean, I I had abs. I was working out every single day, sometimes twice a day. Fitness was like my life. I think that was a good experience to go through. Like I was in the best shape of my life in the sense for like that period, right? But I know now that I'm older, I can be in better shape than I was then. More prone to develop muscle better, bigger, more toned, not that sort of like skinny look that I had. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is when I was 30 and like 128 pounds, I thought I was fat. Now, I knew I wasn't fat because I wasn't overweight and I could see abs, but I still thought there were parts of me, right, that were skinny fat. My diet was pretty on point. It was somewhat skinny fat. But today, now, fast forward 10 years or 8 years, I think that I have my body has just changed. And I think that it's going to be a lot easier to not be skinny fat because I can develop and output muscle better than I could then. And that could be just based on experience and because like but I have more mass now. I'm bigger. And what's funny is I don't think I'm fat right now. Am I in the best shape? Not even close. Interesting that back then, 20 pounds lighter, I thought I was fat. I did not love my body. Now I'm 20 pounds heavier, but I would consider myself still in pretty decent shape for somebody who doesn't hit the gym as hard as they could. It just goes to show that like your body is not really the problem. I actually think that I love and like and respect my body more now than I did when I was 30. But now I'm like, I'm a woman. I am 40 years old. And I think that it is important to have something on you because how else are you going to get through the hard stuff? How else are you going to like roughhouse with your 12-year-old? I never thought that way before, which is just interesting to me. So here's what I'm going to do differently in 2026. In a sense, I'm doing some of these things now, and I haven't for a while, but I'm putting them all in a bucket, and I'm going to do all of these things in 2026. I'm going to weightlift 3 to 4 times a week, which back in the day I wouldn't have thought that would be enough, but I'm going to weightlift 3 to 4 times a week. Start off, I'm not going to go ham and go 110% like I normally would to prove something to myself because I think my body deserves the opportunity to ramp up to that, right? Because if I hit it hard the first time, the first workout, I'm not coming back for days and weeks. and then months because I'm going to be so sore, right? So I did a pretty great leg workout last Monday and I'm still sore from it 4 days later, but it was always like tolerable. I could always get up and down the stairs. Normally, that would not be the case. Normally, I would push so hard that I'd be miserable. So in 2026, we are not going to push ourselves harder than we need to at the beginning. So, first quarter, like first 3 months, we're going to go light. We're just training our body. We're just ramping up. We're letting our body know, hey, by the way, we're going to start doing these movements. We're ramping ourselves up. We're going to be nice. We're going to care for our body, but we're going to weightlift 3 to 4 times a week. In supplement of that, not in replacement, but in supplement to build endurance, we're going to walk. So we're going to set a step goal depending upon what our schedule looks like for the day. And we're going to meet that step goal. We're also going to implement some cardio. So at the end, we'll have some like finishers, things like that. So we'll do like ski erg. We can, go do like a jog, go run a mile, things like that. Nothing crazy. No like 45-minute cardio sessions for me, because I think that's too stressful on my body. Like same thing as like going too hard on a leg day and then not being able to like even walk for days. It's not worth it. So we're supplementing our 3 to 4 days of weight training with some cardio, build endurance, not necessarily to burn calories and shed weight. That's not the goal. The goal is to build muscle and sustain it. We're going to prioritize protein on every single plate. Every time I eat, I'm thinking about protein. I didn't realize I would spend most of my adult life thinking about protein. It's totally true. So we're prioritizing protein in every meal. We're not cutting anything out, but we're definitely going to be like and self-aware of what am I eating? What am I about to consume and put in my body? And do I need this? And should I be eating this? Sleep and recovery. Now I wear a tracker that tells me how my recovery rate is going. I probably rely on it a little too heavily, but I do love it. But it will tell me when I wake up. It'll analyze my sleep throughout the night based on a bunch of different metrics. It will tell me, hey, this is how much you have to give today. And so I want to schedule my workouts and my activities in advance. You have to plan or you're going to fail. But I also want to I'm not going to like hold myself to that 100%. Also going to like listen to my body and my recovery. So again, if I'm so sore that I can like barely move I'm not going to force myself to go do another workout. Maybe I'm going to do like an active rest day and just go for a walk. So we're going to prioritize recovery and we're also going to prioritize sleep. And don't just set a goal to say, I'm going to get, 7 hours of sleep a night, which recognize that at our age, especially us women, moms, women working, our bodies are now trained. Most of us are go, go, go all the time. And we just feel like we have to like manage the world. Over the years, I think we're sleeping less, right? And that's natural. And we just get really used to it. And then our bodies just wake up and they're ready to go. But we actually need to retrain and reset our bodies to sleep again. Shoot for 7 hours. But the way we're going to achieve that is we're going to set a goal to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day. And then eventually the goal would be like at some point, as long as you wind down at 9:30 every night, body's naturally waking up at 7. And it's recovered. And then you're just kind of waking up on your own because your body says, oh, hey, I'm rested. So the goal is nighttime routine, making sure you set yourself up for success, winding down, avoiding screen time right before bed, and just going to bed around the same time every night to the best that we can, because obviously there's going to be trips, there's going to be things happening, whatever. But from day to day, we can set that goal and strive to achieve that. The other piece with the recovery and the sleep part is, again, set yourself up for success by planning. When I go to bed, I should know exactly what I need to do the next day and what the plan is as it relates to food, as it relates to fitness, as it relates to movement, read, things like that. Now, we don't have to plan everything out 110%, but the goal is to have enough so that's like your baseline, so that you have a solid plan. The next day, if your kids get sick and you have to pick them up from school, well, you can still get some of the things done in your plan because, like, you started your day off that way. And then you just kind of adhere and bend to it. And maybe you have to move your workout to the next day. 2026 goals. We're doing our best. Consistency over perfection, 100%. You're going to hear that 1,000 times in January this year. If you're showing up for yourself every day and doing all these are just little things that I just said, right? And none of these are huge. They really aren't if you think about it. We just show up every day. It's just going to become part of your life, part of your routine. And then it's going to be like brushing your teeth. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I have to work out today. And one thing I think I didn't add is our workouts. We're doing 30 to 45 minutes, gals. We're not doing an hour and a half. We're not doing 2 hours of strenuous activity. We're doing 30 to 45 minutes of weightlifting 3 to 4 times a week, and you will see progress. You will. Anything more, you're probably going to burn out and you're going to quit and you're going to fall off track. But I mean, start small. Even again, back to the ramp up. If you have to start with 2 workouts a week, 2 weightlifting workouts a week, perfect. Go for a walk. Meet up a friend, grab coffees, and go walk, get some movement in. So I hope this helps. This is just what I'm doing and based on my experience and what I know is going to work for me to at least move the needle and move me in the right direction. I'm going to kind of readdress things every quarter in 2026, realign, remeasure, look back, see progress, and reevaluate, these steps because at some point your body's going to plateau and you're going to want to like ramp it up even more.